Well, we've largely taken advantage of the run of games against the bottom half sides in the table. We're becoming incredibly hard to beat, and whilst we have had a few frustrating days in front of goal, we're now one of two runaway leaders at the top of the EFL Championship. And today we've got back to back home games as we look to continue our brilliant start. Yes, hello, and welcome along to part 44 of Saving Southend with me, Daniel. We are back today to face Lee Johnson's struggling Swansea before hosting High Flyers Bristol City, who are directly below us in the table. It's been a very surprising championship season, with West Ham still struggling in the middle, Fulham and Crystal Palace just starting to pick up, and one of the promotion favourites, Luton, all the way down in the relegation zone. So if you're looking forward to seeing if we can continue our surprise, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. We've got good news regarding top scorer Jayden Danns at last. We've had a couple of injuries, but nothing mad. Overall, it's just been a really good season where everything seems to be coming together. I'm a little bit worried on the financial side because we are losing money. There are definitely problems at the club on that front, particularly when you look at some of the loans from paying off the stadium and, of course, the increases in wages which we've brought along. But we have just had the completion of our stadium expansion. So if you have a look at that now, we have got a 14,200 seater. And for the first time in our last home game, that was packed out. So we're looking forward to seeing how that progresses. We're increasing the facilities. Everything's looking good. But financially, to keep things ticking over, we might have to sell one star in January. We'll see if we get a silly offer. Since you were last with me though, we've played 8 games off camera. We've had a few frustrating draws, none more so than bottom of the table Rotherham holding us 0-0 at home. But 6 clean sheets out of 8, an unbeaten run. We seem to like winning 3-0. And it's one of the things I say about this year's FM, because I know a few questions have come about and I've asked it myself, is this year's game too easy? One of the things I do find problematic, when you go 1-0 up at home in particular, but just generally, the team then goes very attacking against you and it becomes so easy to pick them off. It's like they've gone a bit too attacking, if anything. But let's have a look at the games we've played, because we beat Salford 3-0 with a Morehouse brace and Joe Hugill getting a goal. And I think you'll see as we go through these matches, one of the things that's pleasing me most is we've just got so many different people contributing. Against Blackburn, a 3-0 win, but this time a Jayden Danns brace. Hugill got one late on, and again, you can see there a 90th and 91st minute goal. Against Watford, a 2-2 draw. This time we came back from 2-1 down after Hugill had given us the lead, but Stephen Parks popped up from a set piece with a big equaliser. Against Sunderland, we drew 2-2. From 2-0 down at half-time, we fought back with Presley and Perkins, the backup strikers, doing it this time around. Against Derby in December, Perkins with a brace and Aaron Presley getting one again. Frustration at home to Rotherham, just one of those days. And in the end, Daniel Rose was brilliant for us. And then 2 back-to-back wins last time out. Harrison Parker, the hero, against Blackpool. He was then rested in midweek because, like many, he was knackered. And we won 5-0 against Birmingham. It was 0-0 at half-time. We were getting battered and Daniel Rose was brilliant. And Jack Morehouse scored on the hour mark and we flew through the goals. This time, Anselm getting one off the bench as well, and Jayden Danns scoring a brace too. He is now discussing terms on a new deal on £9,000 a week, which is a big reduction from what he was asking for before and is affordable for the club. So hopefully we can get him tied down for a new deal. Will mean there's probably no interest in him in January as he'll have just signed a contract. But then next summer, maybe the big money comes. At the moment, I'm looking at where we might make money in January, and Stephen Parks is probably the one. He's fallen behind Ishmael prior to his injury. We've also got the likes of Craven, of Brookin, and we've also got Solly March who can cover left back. So we're not too short in that area. And if we get a good offer for Parks, who's currently worth 6 or 7 million, I would certainly take it for him. I've got to be honest. Not the best natural fitness, albeit he's got many other brilliant attributes. And if we do have to sacrifice someone, I think he would be the one if we get a good offer. But for now, let's go and get through to the fixtures because we've got 2 big games today. The dynamics are great. Everything else looks great. We have had our youth intake preview as well. And for the first time, it's rated excellent. We've got centre halves and centre midfielders that we might want to keep an eye on. So fingers crossed they're going to deliver. But for today, it's all about the football. Next one, we've got the January transfer window deadline day. And if it's anything like last January, Heartbreak of losing out on 14 million on the final day. But let's get through the tactical meeting here because it is Swansea who are the visitors. They've not had a good season, but they've got the likes of Jerry Yates up front still. That's Kamara, the old Reading one, isn't it? Who we had on Switch last year. Experienced Tom Davis in midfield. There's good players about. And Nathan Baxter in goal, we know very well too. So let's go and get to the team selection. A sold out, new look, and new expanded Southend United Stadium. Baggett has picked up a knock, but again from midweek, we're going to start rotating back because a lot of people have played more football than they should. Parker is in at centre half. Brookin will stay right back for Craven because he played really well last time. In midfield, Andre Santos can come back in for McGregor. We'll get Russell Denny back on the bench as well. Possibly for him. We'll wait and see. Yeah, I think it is going to be, to be honest, unless we go Dan Cox, but there's no other centre half. So I think we're going to go like that. The rest of the team we know very well. Sam Ammo is just coming into a poorer run. He's not been brilliant recently. So I'm going to chuck Anselm in just for this game. He's developing well on the left, our resident model citizen. And he's starting to look like he might become a gem. So let's go and get through the game today. Jaden Dans will be the other change as well. He is in up front for Perkins, who is still just one behind on the top scorer front. Aaron Presley keeps his place. We're rotating. We're keeping the team and the squad happy. And this is the 11 in full that we've gone for today. And when you consider that we've got 4 or 5 rotated there, you see how strong the depth in the squad is, even if the first 11 is not standout. We have got some gems in there though, as Daniel Rose in goal is proving. He is one of the best performers. In fact, he is the best performer this season at the moment, with Brookin and Parks the fullbacks alongside Parker and Kwanzaa at centre half. A midfield 4 of Goodrum and Anselm out wide. I think it's a first championship start for Anselm. A second. He's mainly played off the bench this year, but he is doing well. We've got Andre Santos back in with Morehouse in the middle, and then Presley and Dans, the 2 up front. Lots of quality on the bench, just Ishmael and Baggett missing out with injury. So let's get into the first of the double-header today and hope that a winnable game at home to Swansea proves to be just that. Well, to be fair, we're at the end of a 3-game week, and this is where we start to prove our strength in depth, because rather than going for a brilliant 11 and young backups, we've gone for just a good squad of like-for-like players who are all of a similar quality. To be fair, Swansea, despite making a number of changes, they've got some good players in there who we mentioned. They've also got Luton star striker Elijah Adebayo on the bench. They've got Matty Pollock, who is always a wonder kid here, and good championship players such as Ryan Hedges. But let's go and get through to the first half of this one. Lots of motivation. The players, the dressing room is basically fully on board with us here. And at the moment, we don't look like being beaten in any game. And while we have struggled to break teams down at times, and I wouldn't be shocked if this was a 0-0, I do feel we've got a great opportunity. As early doors, just going to see this free kick out, but Parks has got an injury. I'm not going to risk him. Anselm is on a free kick into the team and almost in style. Good save from Baxter to tip it wide. Now with a corner coming, let's go and make the change because Parks will be replaced by maybe Craven, maybe Solly March. I'm going to go Solly March for this one. Bit of experience, extra attacking quality, because against Swansea, quite frankly, we should be on the front foot a lot here. As Goodrum has got the corner in. Back post towards Parker. Headed away by Bueno as far as Morehouse. And he can get it back in again. To the byline. He's forced backwards and that's poor. Lloyd is able to get it away though. Morehouse has nicked it back. He's fighting hard down there. Nothing comes of it. You can see at the start we've been the better team as Parker plays out to Solly March. Not the best ball. But the experienced winger drops in and makes something of it. Now he finds Morehouse and Presley into the team today. They've got a Morehouse as well. Sunjic gets it wide to Reese. It's into the middle where Morehouse almost nicks in. Jerry Yates dropping very deep. Finds Tom Davis. He gets the ball up towards March, who heads away well. But Swansea are on the counter here. Morehouse nicks it, but it falls for Tom Davis. Goes for the pass to Kamara. And the shot's over the bar. A little bit ragged for a minute or two there. Maybe I should have brought Hugo back in for Presley. He's not been his best so far today. 2 games in a week might be a bit much for him, but March puts the corner in. Parker's up. He scored a few this year. That header, though, bit of a 50p piece head there. Wild and high. Went diagonally and up into the crowd rather than near the goalkeeper. 0-0 it remains. It's not been the best first half, but as I think you've seen throughout our reviews of the fixtures this season, and even in some of the on-camera games, we're a bigger threat in the second half normally, as it's a free kick for Solly March. Why is it saying he'll waste a little time? I don't understand that. Sorry as I scraped the mouse as Kwanzaa gets it up on the left. Back to March again. Into the box he goes. Solly March! Inspired sub. We've got never time waste, so I've no idea why he was doing so from the free kick. But it all worked out in the end. A 1-2 with Jarrell Kwanzaa. And bringing on Solly March at left back for that extra bit of attacking threat. It could not have gone any better, could it? Presley has picked up a tight thigh as well, but we've got 2 minutes of stoppage time left. So I'm just going to get him to half time and then make the sub. I don't want to lose a sub break. As Santos gets it to Parker. Now Kwanzaa, who will carry it forward. Has support in midfield from Santos. Can he find that pass to Jaden Dans, who's got runners, but forces himself wide. Cuts it into Anselm. New look left side today, but is playing well. As Morehouse finds Dans, who might have been just off. The shocking miss anyway, to be fair. And at half-time, not a vintage performance, but we lead 1-0. And if Swansea chase the game late on, we know we're going to be in great nick. The only concern, really, is 2 players lost to injury already. Hugo will come on at the break. And Anselm's not having his best game on the left of midfield. Maybe not a starter just yet at this level. There's a ball on the right to Lloyd and now Aponte. Into the box again. Lloyd's done 2 there. It's great football. Back to Tom Davis from distance. And it's just wide of the post. We're living a little dangerously. Southend United play out from the back and Solly March is at the centre of it again. He finds Anselm on the wing. Ball into Morehouse, who's got acres of space in the middle. And a quick switch out to Goodrum on the right. Runners ahead of him. Goodrum cuts in though. Looks left for Solly March, who's flying forward. March into the box to Joe Hugill. The 2 subs combine with the assist and goal. Joe Hugill showing why he's the number 1 in that role. And Solly March has been a revelation at left back. If we get that offer for Stephen Parks, he's going, I assure you. Because at home against these lower oppositions, Solly March has been a bit of a gem. An hour on the clock, we will make some changes in a minute. We'll have to make at least 2 because we've only got 1 sub break after this. I'm going to take Anselm off for Sam Ammo. I'm going to put McKinstry on for Goodrum. And up front, I'm going to replace Jaden Dans with Sonny Perkins, who if he scores 1, will be back up with joint top scorer. If Hugo gets another, he will as well. It's a good ball in from Brookins. Sam Ammo's up. Headed away, but look who's there. Solly March wants to start. He's proven himself, and he's brought down for a penalty. What a performance, Solly March, and he's getting the pen as well. He scored 1. He's the experienced addition I really wanted in August. And this performance is showing why. The penalty, though, is abysmal. And normally in FM it goes on momentum. The fact he's already scored a goal would make you think he can't miss a pen, but he does. The corner kick in is pretty poor as well. I'm still forgiving him because it's been a brilliant display. And these are the games we have been a bit frustrated in. But Solly March has missed a penalty to just take the gloss off the performance. As Andre Santos on the edge of the box plays short to Morehouse, who somehow gets it. March is left again and he's been found. He's not been deterred, he's flying forward. Can he turn provider again? Big ball in, the keeper punches. And it's away as far as Santos, who finds March again. They cannot handle him out there. Solly March back to Andre Santos. Good ball into Perkins. He's in for his 9th for the season. It's 3-0. It's another brilliant display. Solly Perkins scores it. The ball from Santos is exquisite. And everyone is contributing again to this Southend team. Hugo, March and Perkins with the goals. Kwanzaa and Santos adding an assist as well. We're a joy to watch. It's been a fabulous season. And at this rate, I know it can go wrong. We've had second half of the season wobbles before. I'm really feeling like we could be a Premier League side at the end of this year. It's been a wonderful performance. It's a great result. Hull are losing at Blackburn after an early red card. And we're top of the Championship as we approach the halfway point of the season. We've gone 5 matches without conceding, and at the exact halfway point, we have gone past 2 points a game, and we are top of the table. 5 clear of third place Bristol City, who we face next time out. We'll be back in a moment for that game, which is now going to be huge, and this is their star striker, who looks a gem. Back in a moment for that game, which may well, with the right result, make us clear favourites for promotion. Well, a week on, it's fitness test time, and it's been a mixed week here at Southend because I talked about the dressing room being harmonious and has won. Well, Elkan Baggott has ruined that because he's thrown his toys out the pram, he's requested a transfer, He's moaned about not playing enough as a fringe player, despite the fact he's made 7 appearances in a league this year and started all 3 cup games. So, not really sure what to do with that, but he has been a bit of a casualty of the fact we're not really playing a back 3 now. On the flip side, though, we've got some really good news regarding a youngster at the club, because if I go back a little bit here and find the right screen, we've got a message regarding the progress of Nicky Morgan, who I followed the advice from my youth development guide and put in a training unit for the senior squad. He's still in the youth team, as you can see, but developing really well. He's in a mentoring group with a good personality, and he's starting to look like he might be a bit of a gem. So when we are short of players in the next few weeks over the festive period, I'll try and get him in the senior squad. And to be fair, while he has been wanted on loan a few times, he's got to go somewhere where he's going to play and somewhere where there's decent facilities. So for now, at 17, more worried about his development. But let's have a look at our second game against Bristol City. First v third with 5 points separating us. Now, you've seen on camera this season, we've been incredibly consistent against the bottom half teams, but against the top sides, it's been a bit of a mixed bag with defeats against Fulham, defeats against West Ham. We also lost against Hull as well, didn't we? They're the games where we've generally struggled. So this one's important. We're 5 points clear of them, but if we lose the game, 2 points is nothing at this stage of the year. We win it and we go 8 points clear, we'll be starting to think about promotion, there's no doubt. Let's have a look at the side they've got. Kellyman is their number 10. Those of you who followed the Distillery save last year will have known him plenty from Linfield. Mehmeti we had with Bristol City, of course, the side we managed in FM23. There's not many other originals there, though. A lot of new players in, the likes of Chowdhury and Sheaf in midfield. We've mentioned Wyatt, who's on loan, who's brilliant. They've added real quality across the pitch and should be good opposition today. So let's see the team that we can put out for this one. I am going to replace Anselm with Sam Ammo back to first choice. Hugill up front for Presley, exactly the same. Baggett back on the bench for Cox. We've got Ishmael back fit as well. Not going to risk him today though. He can play on Boxing Day. The only 2 changes are strengthening us with our first choice left winger Sam Ammo and our first choice target man Joe Hugill coming in. Solly March unfortunate after that performance, not the start. We've got to look after him. He's an old boy now. Southend v Bristol City, a top of the table clash. Let's see how we get on in this one and see whether we're going to be favourites for promotion. There's a good side they've put out with 5 changes. In fairness, both Cameron Pring and Zach Viner are on the bench. Dan James is there as well. And Craig Pawson is the referee. So let's get the boys motivated into the first half. 14,000 in again, giving us that little bit more income. So let's see how it works out. As early doors, it's Bristol City on the ball. And these are the games where maybe later in the season we have to think about going 3 at the back, because they are the ones where we've gone from not conceding to letting in 2 or 3. And again, early doors, we're struggling to contain our opponents. Though Goodrum does really well against Mehmeti. The clearance only reaches Lyons though. He finds Sheaf, who switches to Wyatt. The big goal threat for them. Edge of the box, he's forced back. And Chowdhury loses it to Dans. Now Santos, great pass. Sets us away on the counter immediately. Finds Joe Hugill on the right, who holds it up fantastic. It's a long old highlight this. Will it be us on the attack though, as Brookham finds Santos. To Jaden Dans. Great turn. Good run. Good effort as well. On his weaker side, it's a good save by the keeper. And it's out for a corner kick, which will be taken by Goodrum on the right-hand side. It's going to be an in-swinger to the back post. Keeper comes, does really well. Been a good start to the game for him. But we're looking a threat against the top side, which is what I like to see. And while we have lost some of these games against the big boys, we've gone toe-to-toe with all of them. It's been great fun to watch. It says we've not had a shot on target, so did Slanina not save that other one? Maybe it was a block, I don't know. He's gathered the ball from this corner though, and he rolls the ball out to his right back. And away go Bristol City again. Wyatt being forced back. You can just tell he's going to score at some point, can't you? He's got so much quality. Back he goes to Murphy Dawson. And it's in midfield to Kellyman. He finds Chowdhury. In the centre circle is Snedden, the centre half. We are forced back into a shape here, but Chowdhury tries to unlock the door. Great defensively from Andre Santos. And now Jaden Dan's away. Finds Sam Ammo on the left. Has had a little poor run. That's a good ball though. Jaden Dan's just beaten to it. Brookin heads it back in, but it's away with Sheaf. And these are 2 sides that look so threatening on the counter. Should lead to a high-scoring game and the end of our good defensive run. As Wyatt in, Brookin away, but only as far as Mehmeti. He lets it run for a corner. You can already tell, compared to the last game with Swansea, This is two very good football teams up here. Hull are losing again, so maybe Bristol City will be second. Brookin deals with that corner routine and finds Goodrum though. And now we're breaking away as well. It's an absolutely fabulous game to watch. Tyler Goodrum goes back to Sam Ammo. And into midfield again with Goodrum. Breaking forward, there's two making a run. Goodrum's forced wide though, back to Brookin. Down the line again, Goodrum can't quite get there. Now Bristol City will counter. What a game of football. Hugo's picked up a knock, that's a big blow. But I'm not taking risks, not at this stage. Aaron Presley will come on. We managed to reduce the 2 injuries last time just by being sensible. We're going to do the same here as well, as Sheaf will carry the ball forward for Bristol City. But there's no doubt, as good as Presley's been, we are losing a bit up front there. Though we've won it back with Brookin, who's got to be careful on the yellow. Plays the long ball, which Presley will chase. Keeper thinks about coming, and eventually does. Slanina just playing out from the back with Taylor. And Lyons. Bristol City remarkably not had a shot yet. But they've put so many dangerous balls in and got into those areas. It's just about whether they take one. Mehmeti's trying to do just that. Oh, the defenders missed it. Parker misjudged it. It's out to Wyatt on the right. They've got 4 in the middle this time, 1 on the edge. He's beaten Parks. Wyatt's in. Back to Sheaf and he scores. It's another one of these ding-dong battles at the top of the table. Parks beaten a bit too easily on the left, but what a game to watch. The fact we're competing at the top with these sides, and the fact that it is sides like Bristol City, Hull, ourselves, teams that were unfancied at the start of the season. It does make it entertaining, doesn't it? As Parker has got the ball at the back, can we respond? Morehouse into Presley, who's on up front. He goes wide to Goodrum with a good ball. And he takes on the fullback. Look at the pace there. Gets to the byline. Back to Brookin. 2 in the middle if he can find them. Brookin goes inside to Morehouse though. And he finds Santos. Forced back to Kwanzaa because the pass was slightly behind him. And Brookin plays a 1-2. We're keeping it well. And now we look to switch the play. Parker in the centre circle. Finds Kwanzaa again. Back to Parker. Another one of those long possession highlights. And it's out to Parks at left back. Can he make amends? Sam Ammo's making a run. Plays into Morehouse instead. Good ball for Goodrum. Left back came out. And it's a cross goal for Dan's unselfishly. 10th for the season to go with his new contract. And a 4-year deal for him. What a signing. To think I doubted 140 grand from Bromley for him. He's going to be worth mega money. And already has rejected one big offer. Mehmeti beats Brookin in the air at the back post, which is a concern. But the header's wide. And remarkably, there's only been the 2 shots on target for the goals, but it's been a joy to watch this one. Goodrum on the right finds Santos, who's settling in lovely now. Morehouse wide to Parks on the left. Support down the line, but Parks finds it. Sam Ammo goes back to Santos. He finds Morehouse through to Dan's. Oh, it's fabulous. What a move. What a goal. What a football team we've got, people. People like Jack Morehouse, who have come through the divisions with us, our very own Pelly Ruddock. And then people like Santos and Sam Ammo, who we've added in recently, who are just becoming a big part of this football club. A brace for Jaden Dans. Hull level as well. It's going to be tense at the top between the top 2. But at the moment, there is an 8-point gap between first and third, as Josh Brookin picks up an injury. Craven, again, just as good a replacement, but it's not ideal at this point. I was tempted to bring Solly March on because Parks hasn't had the best game, but I'm really worried about Wyatt's physicality out wide. I don't want to leave him one-on-one. So I'm just going to leave it at that, but we've only got 1 sub break now, so we will have to make all 3 changes in one go. Or maybe just not make them this time. Look at some of the results in the Championship though. Palace 2-0 down at home to Salford, the relegation favourites. It really has been a bizarre season with all the top boys underperforming. And I think that has contributed to what we're seeing at the top. But we've got a free kick now, and remarkably, Andre Santos has got a chance to make it 3-1. In what has been a great game of football just over. Oh, I thought it might have been the moment there. An hour on the clock, we're starting to dominate. Now we've got a problem because Andre Santos has picked up a knock. It will be the final sub, but I'm not risking him. He's too important. Russell Denny comes on, who, don't forget, at the start of the season was the best player at the club. Sam Ammo will be replaced by Anselm. And I think today I'm going to make a rare exception and not make 5 subs. I normally like to do it, like to give young players appearances, but this game's too important. I'm going to bring him off. We're going to leave it at 4. And I'm going to hope we make it through the rest of this unscathed. There's 20 minutes remaining. You've got to say since the break, we've managed the game well. Bristol City have had very little threat. I'm going to praise the boys because this performance is good. And I'm going to hope we can hang on. It's one of those games where towards the end, we might have to get the time wasting out. But I think you can see it, can't you? We're a fabulous team. We're steamroller in most of the bottom sides. Yes, we slipped up against Rotherham, but generally, we're winning them 2-3, 4-0. And then against these top sides, they're competitive games. They're great battles. And it's just about whether we can pick up enough points. And if we can win this game of any of those top ones, then it's arguably the most important to do it. Let's get the winger onto a support duty there with Goodrum. Fullbacks onto a defensive duty for the last few minutes just to hold us up. And even Morehouse, who's running out of steam, we'll put him in there as well. Centre midfielder on support. We've got 7 minutes added on. We're just slowing the game down a little. But we would be deserving winners of this game if we do cling on to it. As Russell Denny back in the side finds Kwanzaa. Out to Morehouse. And now Goodrum on the right. Has support. The fullback. Where's Craven going? I've put you on a defensive duty. He's still surging up the line. It's forced back now though as Kwanzaa gives it to Parker. Into Morehouse. Good football. Lovely turn. Finds Goodrum on the right. Into Presley. And Goodrum again. Craven nicks it back for Russell Denny. Goodrum's out wide. It's a good ball to him. Can he get the ball in? He does it early. Oh, what a goal. What a way to finish. Jayden Danns with his first hat-trick of the season. A beautiful cross from Goodrum. And actually being on a support duty helped him there because he didn't try and take on the fullback. He just whipped a wonderful cross in, which is not like him according to his attributes. And Jayden Danns, that new deal has set him up, hasn't it? A 3-1 win, and again, the only worry is injuries, really. But this Southend side is looking formidable. We're 2 clear of Hull, who did win it late on, but we're 8 clear of Bristol City. We're 11 clear of West Ham in 7th, and the big boys are faltering. It feels like a year we've got to take advantage. Brooking is out for 4 months. That's a concern. The Santos one is not bad, which is good news for us. And after letting Williams go out on loan on deadline day, I think he's going to be coming back in January. And I guess that's the good sign as we go 10 unbeaten. We scored 3 in half of those, 5 in 1, 2 in 3 of the others. Only 1 we've not scored in. And every other one we've scored more than 1. But I think what that means is with a week to the transfer window opening, we're going to bring back Alex Williams, who is the best player out on loan. He'll come in as our backup right back with Craven reverting to number 1. He's playing well in League One. We know he's a good player. And in fact, he scored for us this season, hasn't he? Early on before he left on loan. But if we go and have a look at the schedule, there is only 1 point we're coming back. Unless we get a massive 4th round FA Cup tie, if indeed we make it past Borough in the 3rd, not an ideal draw. We will be back for Fulham at home, who are one of the big sides. In fact, no, we'll do the game before. Hull away from home. And transfer deadline day. I'm expecting a big offer for one of our players. I'm expecting Baggott to force his way out. And Hull City, first v second as it stands, with transfer deadline day. What a week that's going to be. A fabulous start to the season. A wonderful team that has progressed brilliantly. And you saw in those last couple of games, those additions, people like Santos, have made such a difference to this side. Hopefully we can keep it up and become a Premier League side. I think it would be record progress by some distance for me in one of these saves. And while of course we've got our little complaints about the fact that FM and getting through the English divisions has been a little easy this year, I'm not going to argue with the performances of this team because this season we have been an absolute joy to watch. If you've enjoyed it as well, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Let me know where you think we're going to finish. Is 8 points a big enough gap at this stage? Or is there still plenty of football to be played? Let me know your thoughts on that. What an effort it could be. What a record it could be to make the Premier League with just, 2 seasons without a promotion? That would be something very unique. We're copying the Luton story and trying to better it. I'm not sure we'll ever see progress like this again on this channel. But if you want to stay up to date and see how the season finishes, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. Will we be hampered by more injuries? Will we lose stars in the January window? And will the offers be too good to refuse? Let me know if you think they will be. In the meantime, though, we'll be back tomorrow with the head coach. A very big week there if you haven't seen it. You might want to catch up with yesterday's episode before a bombshell drops tomorrow. We've also got links to the Twitch channel, the football podcast, which has been very busy with Championship Manager specials. We'll also have our predictions for this weekend's fixtures in a day or two's time. And finally, if you have missed any of our guides like the youth development and mentoring ones, you can find that playlist up in the eye above. But thank you very much for watching. Your support as always is appreciated. And I'll see you back here next time. For deadline day, I would expect a busy one with a few of our players wanted and a big top of the table clash away at second place Hull City. I'll see you there.